Come and dream with me.
Hello, welcome to What Do You Want to Watch, the Explosion Network's premier media podcast. Every week we get together, talk about movies, TV, and online content, and help you answer the question, what would compel a person to rush a celebrity to a massive world premiere when they're surrounded by security? Mental illness. So we need to get it fixed. I'm your host, Ashley Lovely. Join me today, Tom Blatt.
Not a good day for Australia, you know?
No, it is messed up that this person has links to our country. You know?
Best thing about that clip is just Cynthia stepping in and ready to throw arms, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to see, just going to put the shoulder in.
Punch on, Wicked Witch.
Simons.
Yeah.
I'll show you Wicked.
I'll show you fucking Wicked. Yeah.
I'll show you what the Wicked Witch does. All right, on today's episode, we'll be talking about what's our watch history, going over some film news, giving you the thumbs to trailers, and giving you this week's top 3. Kicking things off, we both went out and saw the latest Edgar Wright film, The Running Man, a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger film of the same name, based on the Stephen King novel, I want to say.
It's a short
story.
Novella?
Yeah.
I haven't read it.
And starring Glenn Powell, that's the guy. Set in
Whoa, how do you forget Glenn Powell? What are we doing?
I know, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Set in the dystopian future, America, Glenn Powell's character has been blacklisted after doing the right thing too many times in his blue collar jobs, like trying to stop his workers from working in heavy radiation that would burn out their sperm. So apparently he's been blacklisted, and the only way that he can see potentially earning any sort of money for his family, including his sick daughter, is to go on to game shows that run by the network, and the only one that they're offering him is The Running Man, a competition in which he has to escape, I guess, a police SWAT group of people trying to track him down, but also people from the public can capture him or inform the network or the hunters who are chasing him down. The longer he stays alive and stays running, the more money he makes, I guess, is the basic premise of the film. And of course, he ends up becoming something much more than just a person on the game show. Dylan, what did you think of The Running Man?
I was quite disappointed with this, to be honest. It was one of my more anticipated movies here. Obviously, Edgar Wright. I think really interesting subject matter, story. I thought it would make. I think the narrative beats would make a lot of sense in this year. I think it, hits on a lot of stuff that people are talking about. Lots of places in the world, cost of living crisis. Big tech companies hoarding billions and billions of dollars. I think it was sort of primed for that sort of thing. And I think at the end of the day, as weird as it is, it's sort of movie. Just the movie's like a hollowed out version of what it thinks it's talking about. And I don't know if it's Edgar Wright or someone else, producing partners, something like that, who was like, let's not go the full length. But I think the movie starts really well and invests you quickly into, hey, here's a guy who's always just tried to do good. And you literally see the gated off side of the community, keep the poors away from the rich, literally from a gated area with a machine gun dude sitting there. It's this disgusting area, and then they come through to the ultra rich area where everyone's looking at you oh, get away from me. And you got all these people struggling to keep their children alive and get through to even get medicine for them, but then they're doing all these game shows where they're throwing money at people just for people's entertainment. I mean, it's on the nose of mega shill, why capitalism's bad as you could get, yet still obviously a very poignant story that I think could have worked really well. However, I think from the moment the game sort of start, it just loses basically all of its gas to me. I think there's a lot of fun action sequences. I think Glenn Powell's fun. I think Michael Cera is a standout for the 10-15 minutes he's in the movie. He's having an absolute blast. But then every time it like hints at something else, when he stops and talks to that family a while, they talk like a cover up with a bridge explosion, and yet like all these other elements and stuff that's brought up throughout the movie, it just does nothing with them. And by the time you get to the ending, and I remember like the ending shot of the movie, which I guess is supposed to be this badass moment, I was just like, this feels unearned, hollow, just cop out. Like I just don't know if we like you did nothing to get here, and I feel nothing walking away from this movie. And I was really hoping this movie would, and it should. There's no, I don't feel like I'm trying to force the movie to be something it isn't, because at the end of the day, it is a anti-capitalism like at its core story.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel
Eat
like
the Rich movie.
Yeah, Eat the Rich movie, and I just don't think it did it justice at all. And I also don't think the action was as good as it potentially could have been as well. It's like Edgar Wright is playing on second gear the entire movie, pretty much. Weirdly, like I don't know if it's like he was. I don't want to do my signature super fast paced style because I want to try something new or not be known for the guy who always does the same sort of thing or and that sort of thing. But it just constantly felt like he was ready to shift to the next gear, and we never got there. So yeah, I mean, Glenn Powell's having fun. There's a lot of casting having fun. I mean, even Lee Pace has fun for a little bit. He's in it, I guess. I can't blame any actors or anything. I just think it's a completely undercooked take on the film that doesn't go anywhere great.
I think I enjoyed it a bit more than you, but I think it definitely doesn't. It definitely does not stick the landing, to be totally fair, and it definitely feels like the least Edgar Wright of all these Edgar Wright movies. Even though I think he's done, well, Last Night in Soho was a little bit less Edgar Wrighty than Baby Driver was, and Baby Driver was a little bit less Edgar Wrighty than I guess what was The World's End. I guess was the movie they made before that. So maybe he's just changing his style that we will never get the Edgar Wright of that time period back ever again.
I feel like Last Night in Soho is very different though. It's like he's not even doing action there, so it doesn't feel you don't feel like you're missing. It doesn't feel like
still felt like an Edgar Wright movie with some of the cutting and
the camera angles and the use of
camera movements and that kind of stuff.
I mean, look, I'll put it like
this felt like it could have been directed by anybody.
Yeah, when Buddy messaged me, it was like, "Should I go watch Running Man?" I said, "It's his worst movie by far," and I didn't like it much. So, tell me it's not his worst movie. Like, if you without even thinking about it, like even saying that you liked it more than I do, like you don't have to think about it. It's his worst movie.
I mean,
what are you putting below it?
Yeah, that's fair. That's also because you set a very high bar. It's like, to be fair, it's like it's still better than a lot of stuff I've seen this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I think
it's better than most Netflix movies.
I enjoyed the film maybe up to the point where Michael Cera's part in it comes to an end. Like, I was enjoying everything, and then there's this hostage situation that starts.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then it just kind of gets into very weird after that. I don't think it made a lot of sense, the motivations or anything about it. But yeah, I enjoyed all the setup, the whole idea around the game, why the network is trying to do this, and then like the profit video breakdown of like how the game is played and worked out and cast and all this kind of stuff. That was all super enjoyable. I think Coleman Domingo plays a fantastic like game show host of this type. In like very much like up there with Stanley Tucci from Hunger Games. It's like host of the this is dystopian war games. And Josh Brolin, I think, does a solid job as the man behind the curtain, puppeteer behind everything. And Katie O'Brien has a really great like cameo or like small part, which is really enjoyable. And I don't know what the actor's name, but he's like part of that Please Don't Die collective, like that SNL collective. No, I have to look it up. Please Don't Destroy is the name of the act. Martin Herrley, who's like the idiot other contestant.
Oh, Tim.
Who just old Tim. Who just died. That is, I know what he was doing in that scene. Like stretching the believability of people in real life, I think, being that oblivious. But yeah, I mean, there's probably only one solid action sequence in, and I wouldn't even say it's an action sequence, like the sequence in the hotel.
One from the
Thing.
trailer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most interesting piece of action in this film. Oh, well, I guess maybe Michael Cera's booby trapped house, but not a lot that was memorable about this movie. So,
I would say the Michael Cera escape scene was my favorite, just because it is literally just a weird like Home Alone side thing where he just runs around, sets off a bunch of traps. He gets to the top and he's like, "Why are we up here? Why are we going down a fireman's pole?" And they just go. It's like, yeah, they just run around the whole house setting off a bunch of traps, and it's quite fun.
Yeah.
Also, him arguing with his mum was also.
Yes. I want to see him burn.
Yeah.
Mom! They killed your husband. Yeah. Pretty messed up. So yeah. The Running Man. Even though we say, go see things in cinemas, this is one you could probably wait to see at home, I think. Dylan, you went out and saw the latest Colin Hoover adaptation, Regretting You, one of the big box office winners of the recent weeks.
Yeah. This is I'll say interesting. I liked, because it's a corny romance movie, so I know, you know what you're sort of in for. So I'm not trying to judge it for something it's not. My problem with this movie is I do think some of the people are miscast. So I think that Mason Thames and McKenna Grace are great, and they have lots of great chemistry because they either became dating during this movie or dating before. I don't understand celebrity stuff enough. I just know that they're dating now.
Probably during.
During would make sense. So they have really good chemistry in the movie, but some other people don't. So if you don't know, the setup for this one is basically that. I don't think this is a spoiler because I'm pretty sure it's in the trailer, but we watched the trailer, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
No,
I showed.
I don't think so.
Did we? I just watched it. Okay. Well, the setup is that when the movie, basically it takes 20 minutes until you get to the main bit, which is that start of the movie, you've got Alison Williams, and she's married to Scott Eastwood. They have a daughter played McKenna Grace. Then you've got Dave Franco, who's with Willa Fitzgerald, who've just had a baby together. Introduction movie. Then Scott Eastwood and Willa Fitzgerald are in a car accident together and both die. And it's then quickly discovered that they were having an affair. So Alison Williams' character's sister, Willa Fitzgerald, having an affair with her husband. So her sister was cheating on her husband with, yeah. So this whole thing's happened. So then the rest of the movie is this sort of thing where Alison Williams' character and Dave Franco's character are having to deal with this big betrayal that because they had all known each other since high school. And it's implied it had been going on for a very long time. So this is like big, long betrayal thing that's happening. At the same time, you've got McKenna Grace's character who's like just starting, teen romance with Mason Thames' character. And then also dealing with the fact that she just lost her dad and aunt. And neither Dave Franco's character or Alison Williams' character are telling her the truth because they don't want to like ruin her image of her like her aunt and father because she loved them so much. So that's sort of the setup thing. So it's a lot of that,
It's a bit of a stretch.
It is a lot. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of, and this is why I'm saying it's a corny romance drama. There's so many like just such 1%, 0.1% scenarios and things that play out in this movie that you sort of just have to turn your mind off a bit to sort of accept. Also, the other person in it who has a very, very small role, but I enjoyed him, was Clancy Brown, plays Mason Thames' grandfather, and he only has like 5 lines in the movie, I swear, but he plays a very good grumpy old man just for the very small amount of time he has on screen. But yeah, so I think the McKenna Grace is really good with Mason Thames. I do think Alison Williams and Dave Franco have no chemistry together, and were horribly miscast in this role. They also do this weird thing where the movie starts with that whole group playing their like high school age selves, and I don't think they did much, if any, slight de-aging on them, and it's just very weird because they also then flashback later, but they all just look exactly the same age, and it's that thing where I just really would have preferred to have different actors play the young, like 17-year-old versions, and then trust the audience can accept that now Alison Williams playing the 40-year-old version of the same character. Instead, we've got a weird, like, flashback sort of thing, and Dave Franco looks exactly the same at like 16 as he does at 40, whatever. It's just that odd sort of stuff. Yeah, so I mean, to me, if I was rating it, it'd probably be like a 4, probably. Like, I think it has some emotional weight that in certain moments worked, especially for, like, I appreciate a good teen rom-com even in my old man years now when done right, and I think there's something you can easily relate to a teenager going through all these different things in her life while dealing with the loss of a father and a loved one, and then like first true love at the same time, and like it's a lot obviously that causes her to lash out at her mom, and these obviously dramatic things that happen throughout it. So I will say this also, because it would be wild for me not to mention it. When watched it, which there was, I think, 4 girls who I assume were like, I'm going to say 14, 15 behind were sitting. They were hot and sweaty for Mason Thames. Like, I've never witnessed any girls be hot and sweaty for anyone in the cinema before. They would not shut the fuck up. Like, and not in a way that really annoyed me, because I'm like, I'm not too fussed about this movie. Like, but I mean, there is a section, so it's about 15, 20 minutes, probably in the first 15 minutes of the movie, where his character, like the first time he's interacting with McKenna Grace, he puts money in her pocket, and it's a very sexually implied innuendo scene because he uses 2 fingers to push the money into her pocket, right? I think it's very on the nose, like getting away with teen sexual innuendo. But as the money's pushed in, I'm going to do it, and I'm sorry, listeners, but I have to do this. Pushes the money in, and all I hear from behind me is, ah! Just, I was like, what? Just, and then several times throughout the movie, like he takes his shirt off and something. Oh, all these girls are like fucking going off behind me. End of the movie, they're all crying, like bawling their eyes out. I'm walking out of the cinema, they're sitting there with tears running down their faces. It's just, yeah. I don't think I've ever witnessed such a...
Wow, hiccup can pull.
Fucking, it was wild. Yeah, Mason Thames is, yeah, hiccup can pull. Correct, yeah. I didn't know he was I mean, why would I know is the other thing, obviously. Like, what the fuck do I know that teenage girls like? I didn't realize he was like a sex symbol to young girls.
Yeah, how could he not be after being in the Black Phone?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so confused. But apparently, yeah. Also, there was people sitting across from the row we were sitting, older ladies. They were not having it. They were so pissed the entire time. Like, I was watching it with a girl from work. Went and watched it together, and we're just laughing because you can't help but laugh when someone lets out the biggest moan in the middle of the cinema with the pocket scene. But I would look over, and these older ladies would just be like turning around and deaf staring these younger girls the entire time, and I mean, that sort of made it funny to me too. But I mean, yeah, it was a wild cinema. It's not. If someone, it's not often I have wild cinema trips, and I guess it's because those people wouldn't be in my usual stuff I go watch. But yeah, it was quite interesting. It's quite interesting. I learned a lot.
You weren't regretting that experience.
There we go. Good job. Yeah.
All right. So the Mighty Nein, the latest animated series from Critical Role, is about to debut this week on Prime Video. But they put up the first episode for free on YouTube. So I checked it out as someone who had like experienced the entire Mighty Nein campaign on Critical Role.
I thought you were about to say someone who has access to YouTube. I checked that out.
As someone with the YouTube account.
Yeah.
Premium. I watched it. So I watched the first episode. And I think it's obviously it's quite different to the
Vox
Vox
Machina.
Machina series, but probably in a different way than people would expect. Like, I think the interesting thing is they've obviously gone in this time with a plan for how they want to tell the entire story, rather than because they've got the backing of Amazon. They know
Well, they
they're
probably
going to
didn't
be.
know if the first one would be more than a season. So
The last, yeah, probably. Well, I mean, the last one started as Kickstarter campaign. So the script was like, here's these adventures with the cast of Vox Machina. This time they've started by building out the world incredibly large first. You've got the two warring factions on this other continent of Exandria, who are like about to start going to war with each other. And we're kind of like, there's a lot of events in this opening episode that we never like experienced in the campaign. You know, so this is definitely a show that is going to be coloring in a lot of like the background stuff that was happening. Like, there's a lot of characters who we only see when we point of view with the members of the Mighty Nein. We'll see other conversations, other backstory, other things. So this is a series that will definitely flesh things out in a grander way than experiencing the campaign through Critical Role. So I think, whereas I feel like Vox Machina very much streamlines everything to be very much, there's not a lot of being away from the main cast. You know what I mean? But yeah, in this opening episode, you're only introduced to 4 of the Mighty Nein cast. I think what you got: Caleb, you got Not, and Bo. I think that's it in this opening episode. So like barely any of the group. Like, but yeah, animation's really fantastic. I mean, there's this incredible like escape magic sequence that starts the episode. And yeah, I mean, it's got that more adult, darker tone to it that campaign had as compared to the Vox Machina, were like very much everybody's basic kind of heroes, I guess. Was Vox Machina were like because it was like a lot of those people's first time playing D&D to start with anyway. But yeah, obviously, first episode out on YouTube. Probably by the time this comes out, the first 3 episodes will be on Prime Video, so excited to check out the rest of the season. Think it's releasing weekly? I don't know. I don't know what the release schedule for this one is, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's really well done. It's really setting the tone, the world, and the characters that I've met so far. So yeah, check out the Mighty Nein. And then Dylan, you checked out the new sitcom DMV on Binge, right?
yeah, correct. Yeah. It's fine.
Okay.
I feel like it's a sitcom made for people who like sitcoms, but you won't be impressed with it, which means you should watch it. Because it just feels so sort of like everything you'd expect, and like not in an exciting way, but probably the perfect thing that you could chuck on and just sort of half watch, sort of go through. Like the setup is so it's like the first episode you meet the core cast of characters. It's like you've got the hot shot dude who, you know, doesn't take shit too serious, and then Harriet Dyer's character is like the main character. She's sort of a klutzy single mid-30s person, very relatable. And then you got the other dude played by Tim Meadows, who now more popular from Peacemaker, I guess, but he's playing sort of I don't know, just sort of the middleman. He's, you know, nothing. He's, or at least no like standout things. Just then the manager of this branch comes across very much like the manager girl or the assistant manager girl from Superstore.
Sandra.
Like, yeah, like literally.
I'm thinking of the other.
No, you know the one who yells at everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, actress playing her looks very similar. Sounds very similar to me. I don't know, just a lot of similar sort of vibes there. But yeah, I mean the setup is, at least for so far, it's like, so it starts with these people coming to this particular DMV branch, and they're saying they're going to be there for a couple months. I think it's like 3 months to watch this workplace, and then they're going to decide, because they're apparently shutting some Hollywood branches or wherever the show's set or something like that. So then it's that whole thing of you've got the people like walking around with keyboards or clipboards, sorry, like talking and interviewing people to make sure this workplace is worth keeping open, and then crazy shit's happening. Like the first episode ends with Harriet Dyer's character basically somehow, while trying to not embarrass herself next to the other guy that she has the hots for at work, this I don't know the actor's name. Anyway, he's a New Zealander, so shout out to him. She like attempts to like climb out the bathroom window and then gets stuck there, and then of course the whole workplace comes in and she's got like a sweater over her head and shit. It's just this whole like it's an awkward workplace comedy. It's fine. Will it get a second season? Doubt it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just look at the viewership numbers. It's debuted in the US with 3.9, down to a 2.9 from this fifth episode.
Too much of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard.
It's pretty standard, yeah.
All right, let's move into the mandatory Netflix segment of the show. So I watched the new animated film that came to Netflix, In Your Dreams, which got a new, opening stinger? I don't know. What are they called? Like, you know how Marvel's got their thing at the start of the Marvel movies?
Stinger,
Yeah.
It's like an
Netflix animation film stinger.
You don't just
I
get
don't
the
think
normal.
I've ever seen before.
You don't get the normal Netflix. Like when I watch Frankenstein, you still just get the normal. Yeah.
No, it was like Netflix animated film. So it follows a family in, I don't know, some country town. There's a girl named Stevie and her brother Elliot. They seem to be a very happy family with their parents played by Kristen Milotti and Simu Liu. But their mom looks like she's going to get a job in another set town in like a big city. And her dad doesn't really want to move from the town that they're in. So Stevie is very worried that her parents are going to break up and to get divorced. And Elliot is an oblivious little 6-year-old who is unaware of all the surroundings that are happening. Who is very much into magic, and comes across a book about the Sandman. The guy who can make your dreams come true. And after saying some special phrases inside this magic, it turns out this book is actually magical and has like magical properties and like tells the truth about the Sandman. Yeah, almost. It tells the truth about the Sandman in dreams and that kind of stuff. They end up getting stuck in their dreams. Like, so anytime they go to sleep, they go into the same dream world at the same time. And Stevie convinces them to go find the Sandman so they can make their dream come true of their parents staying together. That's the basic premise.
It takes two.
It takes two. This time, well, I was going to say this time with less bear murder, but there's other things that happen. It's fine. I think it's a little bit too not enough meat on the bone. It's like very straight to the point. It's like at a certain point something happens. I'm like, wow, that's really quick. That happened exceptionally quickly. This doesn't make sense. This seems like something would happen like around the third act, and this seems to like happen in the second act. It's I don't know. It's kind of weirdly off-puttingly animated. Like the facial designs of the kids in the film, like I don't know. It's not my favorite type of 3D art that I've seen. Like it's like like this weird Silicon Valley element, like trying to be realistic but also trying to be cartoony, and it's very odd. There's some cool ideas there, but I feel like they rush through a lot of stuff really quickly. Like there's the idea that they're trying to get to the Sandman. They have to go through Nightmare, who gives them nightmares, and they have to stay asleep. But because they're nightmares, they end up waking up constantly. So instead of like having a series of cool action sequences or something, it's just a quick montage to get through. I feel like they could have delved into like trying to overcome some of these nightmares a little bit more, and maybe delve into more nightmares that are relatable and stuff. I mean, there's obviously the nightmare where they're all naked in like a shopping center, and like the little Elliot is like, I don't understand what's wrong with this, whereas the older sister's like, this is fucked up, and all that kind of stuff. There's a character called Baloney Tony, who is the stuffed toy of Elliot, that he
An
lost
elephant?
at one point, but is alive in this dream. Who just shows up, just pops up constantly, and just disappears. It's like, it is voiced by Craig Robinson, and obviously it's shown off pretty heavily in the trailer. I'm like, it's very weird that he is not a constant presence throughout this movie. Even though, I guess it doesn't make a lot of sense to be. But yeah, I think this one hits its themes pretty heavy. I think it won't be surprising what kind of messages it's trying to make. But yeah, I'm sure it's a fine enough movie to watch with your kids, like on a Sunday afternoon, or
It looked very like younger kids targeted to me. So
yeah. So, In Your Dreams, check it out on Netflix. That's everything I watched history. Let's move on. Bit of a slow news week, but every week there's a bunch of casting news or new projects being announced. We like to cover these in a segment called Would You Want to Invest, where I give Dylan information about a different project. He tells me if he would fully invest, partially invest, or non-invest, and then history will be the judge if he is right or wrong. Are you ready for this week's installment?
I'm born ready.
Great. Kicking things off, following her latest pick, Christie, coming out at the AFI Fest last week, Sydney Sweeney is looking to deliver another knockout punch with an upcoming film and partnering with an A-list director to help deliver the blow. Sources confirmed a deadline that Apple Original Films is developing The Man from Rio, a new adventure comedy feature that is set to star Sweeney, with Justin Lin set to direct. The film is a modern take of the 1964 French film of the same name, with Lin producing through his Perfect Storm Entertainment along with Oscar-nominated Kevin Walsh, who will produce with the Walsh Company under his first look deal with Apple TV. Chase Palmer penned the script. In addition, Sweeney will serve as executive producer. The 1964 feature hailed from Studio TFI, or TF1, and was directed and written by Felipe de Broca, and written by Daniel Brolanger, John Paul Rappeneau, and Ariane Muchnitzkin. It followed a young private on military leave who comes to the rescue of his girlfriend who's been abducted by thieves and brought to Rio de Janeiro. An extravagant adventure ensues. The original was an inspiration to many directors who grew up in the era, including Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, who would later credit it as one of the inspirations for Indiana Jones.
I will partially invest. I like Justin Lin, obviously, but I will say, as the girls behind me shouted in Regretting You, Sydney Sweeney's cancelled because a trailer for The Housemaid played.
I don't think she's cancelled. She's just
The girl said, I trust what the kids say.
they're ahead.
They know what I don't know. They are the pulse. I will say Sydney Sweeney doesn't seem like a good investment money-wise at the box office, apparently. But yeah, I'll partial invest. Just basically, I mean, Justin. Yeah, he brings family to cinema.
He does bring family.
And he did the best Star Trek movie.
That is true. I didn't have it in my notes, but did you see that the guys behind Dungeons & Dragons are doing the next Star Trek movie, apparently?
That is very good news. No, I didn't say that, but that is good news.
That's good news, but also that's weird.
Mm.
Like, it doesn't seem like a fit for the very serious
I don't
action
know.
tone.
Like, they did fun action well, though. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, we all love Game Night, but
Yeah.
here we go. On the heels of her 6 Grammy nominations for her 7th studio album, that's crazy. Man's Best Friend, pop star Sabrina Carpenter has inked a deal to star in and produce an untitled musical inspired by Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland for Universal Pictures. Carpenter the project will mark a first attempt at anchoring a major studio picture. Plot details are under wrap, but DGA award winner and a 2-time Emmy nominee Lorraine Scafaria is set to direct from her own script.
Who essentially plays Alice?
I mean, that is heavily implied.
I feel like she's too old. I'm not saying she's old, but like,
She's short enough.
Yeah, I'll fully invest. That seems like money, right?
Yeah, surely. Yeah, at the moment. But yes, her 7th studio album? That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I think it's that thing of like what. So she only, at least mainstream blew up with her last album. So
Yeah, she was
in
a
your
Disney
mind, it's like
starlet
there's
before
only
that.
2 albums, but then she was at Disney. Yeah.
Meryl Streep and Sigourney Weaver are teaming to star in Useful Idiots, a New York set thriller from director Joseph Cedar, 5th season of Black Bear. The pick follows Diane Castle, a veteran journalist who covers the New York luxury property market. She's disillusioned with writing puff pieces about the wealthy and the elite and regrets full that she might not have lived up to her potential. When a record-breaking sale of a new penthouse hits her desk, Diane's questions about the buyer's identity lead to what could be the story of a lifetime, as it centers on a mysterious oligarch whose influence stretches across Manhattan and beyond. Protected by a network of fixers, enablers, and a brilliant young strategist. Out of her depth, Diane digs deeper into the investigation. Her determination to uncover the truth, revealing a web of corruption and danger at the highest levels, is staring Diane, her family, and all those around her.
That's a lot, but not a lot. So partial on this.
Okay.
Basically, because it's a cast.
LA and Paris-based Vidome Pictures, producer of Oscar-winning picture winner Coda, has unveiled the cast for the previously announced drama Ibellen, based on the true story of a disabled Norwegian gamer Mart Steen. Charlie Plummer, Stephen Graham, Tony Collette, Isabella Merced, Maisie Stella, and Anthony Hopkins are signed to star. Born with Dutch-knee muscular dystrophy, which gradually saw him lose control of his limbs, Steen connected with the outside world through the gaming world, where he was admired by thousands for his humor, kindness, and courage. Behind the scenes, he was living with the degenerative muscle disease that slowly took away his body, but never his spirit. At home, his loving family feared he was withdrawing from the world, but they would later discover that quite the opposite was happening.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my full invest. Yeah.
Yes. This reminds me, I need to watch that documentary.
What I was trying to think, is there? Yeah, I'm not going. What was that?
It was a documentary.
Yeah, what was it called?
I think it was The Life of Ibelin, something like that. It definitely used his World of Warcraft name in the title, so which is the title of that film. Yeah. All right. Margaret Qualley, Drew Starkey, and Michael Shannon are set to star in Jeff Nichols' next film, King Snake. Nichols and his partners in Tri-State Pictures and Brian Kavanaugh Jones and Sarah Green will produce the Southern Gothic horror film in association with Range Media Partners. The film follows a young couple who inherit a farm in rural Arkansas and must conquer the demons, both physical and metaphysical, that haunt its legacy. Forces of good and evil collide in a terrifying film where real-world challenges crash headlong into otherworldly creatures and myths.
He's Jeff Nichols has a wild like he didn't make anything for like years, and obviously came out as a bike rider, but and then when I remember listening to him when I was interviewing him on The Big Picture, he was like said about that, and he's like, oh, just take however long it'll take to make my next movie or whatever. Fast turnaround this time. Yeah, fully. I mean, look, obviously, you've got me at Southern Gothic horror. Full invest.
I figured.
Mm.
Daisy Edgar Jones and Amelia Jones are set to star in the film currently titled Bad Bridgets from Kneecap director Rich Papiet, who will write and direct with sales being conducted at AFM. The script was inspired by the book Bad Bridget, Crime, Mayhem, and the Lives of the Irish Immigrant Woman by Elaine Farrell and Leanne McCormick, and has been developed with the support of Queen's University, Belfast, Lucky Chap, and Coop The Arts are producing. In the film, a mysterious letter sets a young woman on a perilous journey from famine-ravaged Ireland to 19th century New York, joining the ranks of Irish Bridgets, creating mayhem in the city.
Yeah, full invest. Still haven't watched Kneecap, but yeah, full invest. Telling unique stories from that part of the world. So.
Yes. Deadline has confirmed that Warner Brothers is in advanced negotiations for Shiver, which will bring Keanu Reeves together to star in a sci-fi pick directed by Deadpool's Tim Miller. Aaron Ryder is producing with Andrew Stewart from Ryder Pictures Company alongside Matthew Vaughn, who made the Kingsman and Kick-Ass movies. Early reported details is that the project is set in the Caribbean Sea, with the protagonist being a smuggler slumming on the job as he contends with the dead bodies, pirates, and sharks, all within a time loop.
Partial invest for Keanu.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Emmy winners Claire Danes and Ewan McGregor are set to headline the Hulu drama series The Spot from creator executive producer Ed Sullivan, A24. Danes replaced Kate Winslet, who was attached as star and executive producer when the project, in a very competitive situation, landed at Hulu in August 2024. Written by Solomon, who will serve as showrunner, The Spot follows a successful surgeon and her school teacher husband, who begin to suspect that she might be responsible for a kid's hit-and-run death. Their quest for the truth spirals into a web of mounting suspicion and dark secrets, testing their resolve in their relationship as they confront the possibility of hidden guilt and betrayal.
Sounds like something quite Kate Winslet would do. Yeah, full invest.
Alana Haim is in talks to star alongside Aubrey Plaza in the Heidi Fleiss story, the forthcoming dark comedy serving as a biopic for the Hollywood madam Heidi Fleiss. The Heidi Fleiss story takes place in 1993 Los Angeles, where a powerful young woman named Heidi Fleiss is arrested for running the largest high-end prostitution ring in the world. With the unlikely help of an aspiring writer, Jocelyn, who vows to be the one to write the Heidi Fleiss story, Heidi scrambles around LA trying to blackmail and leverage various connections to get the case dropped. The film will mark the feature directorial debut of Leah Rachel, who's working from a script written with Travis Jackson and Rachel Sennott.
Oh yeah,
So-
full invest. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are they going to get to play Charlie Sheen?
Yeah.
Because that's her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brendan Hines, Kush Jumbo, Heather Graham, Johnny Knoxville, Lexi Mindtree, Lily Colias, and Tatiana Maslany have joined Osgood Perkins, The Young People. The new additions round out the ensemble cast previously announced Lola Tung and Nico Parker. Perkins is directing from a script he wrote. Neon will release the film theatrically in the US and represent international sales rights and co-finance with Lyrical Media. Plot details are currently under wraps.
As with every one of his films at this point. Yeah, full invest. I think I said the other week I'll just watch anything but Perkins
I
does
think
at
you
this
did.
point. Yeah. I've never seen someone smash through a however many picture deal he has with Neon.
It's like, oh, I got to get out of this until I can make some big bucks, I guess.
Like they announced it after Long Legs. It was like he signed on for whatever it is, like a 5-picture deal or whatever. And I swear he's just like, like
Let's just get it made.
yeah.
All right, last one with this week. It's been nearly a decade since Tom Ford directed a film, but it looks like the multi-hyphenate has zeroed in on his next project and lined up an all-star ensemble to lead it. Sources tell Deadline that Ford has confirmed he will direct an adaptation of the Anne Rice novel Cry to Heaven. The screenplay has been written by Ford, who is also directing and producing through his Fade to Black production company. Set in 18th century Italy, the film stars Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Adele, Kieran Hines, George McKay, Mark Strong, Colin Firth, Paul Bettany, Owen Cooper, Daniel Quinn, Troy, Hunter Schafer, Josephine Dyson, Thwandy Newton, Theodore Pellerin, Darren McCormick, Cassian Bilton, Hawk Hanneman, and Lux Pascal. The film is currently in pre-production in London, Rome, and principal photography is set to begin in mid-January for an anticipated late autumn 2026 release. The original novel from the interview with the vampire author Rice follows the past of two unlikely collaborators, a Venetian noble and a castrated singer from Calabria, both trying to succeed in the world of opera. The story touches on themes of identity, betrayal, love, and the pursuit of artistic and personal freedom, all ideas that fall right in Ward's wheelhouse. He has explored these themes in his filmmaking as well as in the world of fashion in the past.
Yeah, fully invest. I really like both his previous films. So.
What? It was A Single Man and
Nocturnal Animals. Amy Adams, Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's right.
Taylor Johnson. I also notes into it. Anyway, yeah. So,
Hammer.
yeah, there we go.
That's the one. Michael Shannon is probably the one you're thinking.
Yeah.
Or Isla Fisher.
Oh, Island Fish is that? Yeah.
But yeah, crazy. 10 years between films.
I mean, they're both really
He's a
good. I
busy
will
dude.
say that Single Man is by far like way better. Like I enjoyed both, but Single Man is really.
That cast is crazy. It's crazy you can just drop that all these people are doing a movie at the same time.
Yeah, I think the thing is like because I think it's this like he has two good movies, right?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, he will get a lot of people sign on because they love him as a like fashion icon as well, fashion label and stuff.
Gotta get them close.
Gucci.
All right. We'll have to wait and see if when history will be a judge of Dylan's choices. But let's talk about some movies that are a little bit closer in thumbs for trailers. Of course, you can find all the trailers we're about to talk about in the show notes below. First up, we've got Cold Storage, directed by Johnny Campbell, starring Georgina Campbell, Joe Keery, Sosie Bacon, Vanessa Redgrave, Leslie Manville, and Liam Neeson. Tea Cake and Naomi are two employees at a self-storage facility built atop a former military base whose night shift transforms into a nightmare when a government-sealed parasitic fungus escapes from the underground levels. As temperature rises, the microorganism unleashes its brain-controlling, body-bursting mayhem on anything in its path. The duo must join forces with a weathered bioterror operative to contain the threat before it triggers humanity's extinction. Dylan, what do you think of the trailer for Cold Storage?
It's very fun. It's just I'm gonna double thumbs up. The funny thing to me about this is I knew nothing about it until I watched the trailer, and then I googled some things afterward. But it's like you watch the trailer, and when it just starts with Joe Carey and Georgina Campbell, it's so it just seems like I don't know, a B grade sort of horror movie or whatever, some thriller. And then suddenly it's like you start checking, you're like, oh, Liam Neeson's here. Wow, what's going on? And then they're like, oh, David Cope wrote this or whatever. And then you look it up, and it's like based on his book. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'm in that.
David Koch, writer of Jurassic Park and a bunch of infamous movies. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, two thumbs for me. I think it's a really well put together trailer. Obviously, starting with the Daniel Pewter "Bad Day" song, playing it throughout it. Joe Keery plays a really great oblivious guy. And yes, maybe it's a bit too soon after COVID, and it's like, oh, it's another disease, it's going to kill us all. But this looks like a very fun time. And Liam Neeson seems like he just walked off the set of Naked Gun.
Yeah, I like that. It's like that's a nuclear weapon. We can't take no chances.
He's like literally using the same voice that he was using in Naked Gun.
I know you two were employed as minimum wage workers this morning, but now you're on the A team. Whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah. Freaking crazy. But yes. Cold Storage is coming to Australian cinemas on the 5th of February. Next trailer is Merv, directed by Jessica Swale, starring Charlie Cox and Zooey Deschanel. A strange couple who learn that their dog they share is suffering from depression following their breakup, awkwardly reconciling over the holidays when they take their dog on a sunny vacation to Florida to lift your spirits. So I'm watching the trailer for this dog movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna thumbs up because cute dog doing cute dog things, just being depressed, and it's like a good time.
Playing depressed.
Also, this is interesting because when I looked up stuff for the Christmas article I did on the website,
this has been listed as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's been listed as a Christmas movie, and apparently it was shot a year ago, and they shelved it. And I put it in the list, and there was no trailer at the time. I need to go back and put in the trailer. Yeah, I found an article when I googled the movie like a couple weeks ago when I was doing that. There was an article with like candid photos of them filming the beach scene that were posted in like the Sun newspaper a year ago or some shit. So yeah, well, anyway, it's got a cute dog. Dog fun.
I mean, 2 thumbs up. It looks like a delightful, fun, rom-com. Doesn't look like a Christmas movie though.
I mean, look, we're talking about some. Are they actually Christmas movies at the moment? So we shall see.
Go check out A Very Explosionary Christmas.
There is mistletoe on the poster, so
okay, that's more than one of the movies we're doing this.
Yeah.
All right, Merv is coming to Prime Video on the 10th of December. Next trailer is for Goodbye June, directed by Kate Winslet, starring Toni Collette, Johnny Flynn, Andrea Riseborough, Timothy Spall, Helen Mirren, and Kate Winslet. A man and his 4 adult children navigate messy family dynamics when his wife's health takes a turn for the worse during Christmas time. So, what do you think of this Christmas film trailer?
Double thumbs up, and then we started crying in the trailer. So wish me luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, Helen Mirren she's gonna act, man.
She certainly can. Yeah, 2 thumbs up from me. I think it looks really fantastic. Obviously, it's hitting some subject matter that we probably would prefer to not think about.
Death.
Yes. But, I think there's a bunch of banging lines.
Yeah, the best line is, was it about mascara? And it's like, I should do it.
I never died before. I want to.
I've never. So it's like, yeah, I haven't done that before or whatever. Like, I haven't done.
But yeah, stellar cast, looks really good. Crazy. Kate Winslet's directorial debut. So yeah. Goodbye June is releasing in some cinemas on the 12th of December, releasing on Netflix 24th of December.
Hell yeah, I can't wait to sit
that's
here.
what you want to watch. Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I'm going to sit in
Santa's
this
coming
house.
down the chimney.
I'm going to sit
to
right
find
here
you
all
bawling
alone.
about Helen Mirren dying.
Yeah, I'm going to die. That's what I'm fucking going to do. Hell yeah.
All right. Next trailer is for Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Directed by Gorb Verbinski, starring Sam Rockwell, Haley Lou Richardson, Michael Pena, Zazie Beetz, Azim Chandra, Tom Taylor, and Juno Temple. A man from the future travels to the past and recruits the patrons of a Los Angeles diner he arrives in to help combat a rogue artificial intelligence. Dylan, what do you think of this teaser trailer?
No idea what's going on. No notes. Double thumbs up. There's a fucking giant animal leg at the end. Like, what are we?
There is a giant cow leg.
Cow leg, is it? Okay.
Well, that's what I got.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
The impression I got. So, yes, it is totally wild. I think, cut together really well. 2 thumbs up. I mean, this is the kind of role you want Sam Rockwell to be. Crazy dude from the future. This is the height of fashion. The homeless dude.
Trying to save you, fucks.
Looks really cool and looks like a crazy threat as well. At least like some sort of AI thing, like take it over.
Yeah.
Why do we? It makes you question why we keep trying to do AI when we've got all these movies and fiction.
I mean, technically,
AI kills us all.
We've had movies like Terminator and stuff for plenty of time, and people have still pushed on. So, like, Skynet is a thing.
Skynet's an inevitability.
Yeah, and so is the Matrix, Mr. Anderson. It is inevitable.
Yes. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Is releasing in the US on the 13th of February. No Australian release date. Last trailer for this week, Wuthering Heights. Directed by Emerald Fennell, starring Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, Hong Chow, Shazad Leif, Alison Oliver, Martin Clunes, and Ewan Mitchell. Tragedy strikes when Heathcliff falls in love with Catherine Earnshaw, a woman from a wealthy family in 18th century England. Dylan, what do you think of this trailer for Wuthering Heights?
Yep, double thumbs up. Really came for it. I really like the cinematography, production design, sort of the visual flair that's going on with it. I do think that potentially, like, I do get some arguments that, like, maybe Margot Robbie's a bit too old for this part now. Like, I don't know, but that's fine.
I think it's only because Jacob Elordi is playing the
other
role.
guy. Yeah. Also, shout out to Aussies. Just taking them.
Yeah,
taking them. And I get a brand new Charlie XCX album to go with this. So 10 out of 10. Double thumbs up. Points all around.
Yes.
2 songs off the album already out, by the way. Everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up. I think it's a really well put together trailer. Obviously, we really enjoyed the teaser trailer that we saw when it was first pushed. This one obviously fleshing out a bit more plot, so you understand what's actually happening if you have never read the Emily Bronte book. Yeah, I mean, looks great. Also, kind of looks like a lot of the plot seems like a lot of stuff we've seen before. Well, that's because it's probably inspired a bunch of stuff we've seen before.
Yeah, correct. I just
Yeah,
think when you say stuff like like when they're right on the horseback and you got that like giant red background, red sky, and all this like I it's hard to tell based on the trailer, but I'm wondering if there seems to be a lot of very wild coloring and backgrounds and stuff, and I'm wondering if the coloring in scenes is gonna be used as sort of a visual language for different things that are happening. I don't know. It just seems very out there. Yeah, I mean, also Emerald Fennell like isn't doing a direct like just a straight boring adaptation. That would not happen. So
yeah, absolutely. All right. Wuthering Heights is coming to Australian cinemas on the 12th of February, 2026. I guess if you needed to know. All right, let's move into this week's top 3.
Definitely in the top 3.
And with Wicked surely going to be a massive success, this week's top 3 is top 3 musicals that should be adapted to film next. I figured this one might be a bit difficult for you, Dylan. Was it?
correct.
So what's your number 3?
Why was it easy for you? Was it
Well, I'm more cultured and aware.
more cultured and aware?
No, I watched a series about musicals,
More
recent
cultured
musicals.
is what you just said to me. More cultured. Give you fucking culture.
Yeah.
motherfucker.
You were surprised every single time I bring up the Tony Awards.
More cultured. It's interesting words. Interesting wording. Look,
I imagine what the elite would enjoy with their
Yeah,
$100 tickets.
you tell me how cultured you are when you watch some more Australian films. You know what I mean? Like, how about you support the culture? I just had to do some googling and read some plots and stuff and decide based on that information. So at number
Okay.
3, I've gone with The Frogs, which I'm going to read from Wikipedia for all of my answers. It says The Frogs is a musical freely adapted by Stephen Sondheim and Bert Shivlov from The Frogs, an ancient Greek comedy by Aristophanes. How do you say that? In the musical, Dionysus, how do you say fucking half these words, man? Despairing the quality of living, dramatist travels to Hades to bring George Bernard Shaw back from the dead. William Shakespeare competes with Shaw for the title of Best Playwright, which he wins. Dionysus brings Shakespeare back to the world living in hope that he can save civilization. So it's a musical comedy in which Shakespeare and playwrights. It sounds fun to me. Sounds like a funny time. It's got lots of good reviews. I scrolled through a bit. It's been showed like from the 70s through to like there was a Sydney version 2015. So number 3.
All right.
I said I would watch that, and that's what I'm basing this on.
Okay. My number 3 is Spring Awakening, musical that came out 2006. I'm reading, yeah, and kind of spawned a bunch of careers, including people like John O'Grothly, Josh Gallagher Jr. But it's set in like 19th century Germany, following a bunch of like children as they deal with like adolescent sexuality. But then it's also got a rock music inspired score. So yeah, I think that would be really cool. Obviously, it was a massive hit when it was on its original Blood run on Broadway. It would be difficult to adapt just because of the subject matter. It's a very adult, or like very, well, I wouldn't say adult, but it's like obviously children having like teenagers having sex and that kind of stuff. Or like one of the songs is dealing about with a child talking about their experience of their dad molesting them and that kind of stuff. So it's not, it ain't going to be wicked, but but I would enjoy seeing that on the big screen. And obviously, there is a big fan base for that musical. So that's my number 3. Dylan, what's your number 2?
Not sure I went with the Book of Mormon.
Number 2 for me is also the Book of Mormon.
Wow, see, I'm not cultured.
You're a little bit cultured.
Obviously, it's the very famous Trey Parker, Matt Stone, South Park guys musical that they won all the awards for, and sort of, I guess, projected Andrew Reynolds and Joss Gad into, I think, stardom from this a bit, or like definitely kicked their careers into the next gear. So I know that whenever people have like talked about, I've seen interviews before where because people always ask them, right, and they say that it would be hard to adapt, but I don't know. I feel like surely it'll get adapted one day. Maybe they're just sitting on it for till the right time, but
Yeah, until they
I
feel
just feel
like
like it's.
ticket
I
sales
feel
are
like
down.
I feel like it's too big and too popular to not eventually get adapted to a movie. Surely.
Yeah. I mean, it would be fantastic, but you also kind of feel like they'd need to be the ones who do it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you just bring them back and have them play the roles. Yeah.
No. Like Matt and Trey Stone. Matt
Direct
and
it.
Trey direct it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, I'm sure they could get somebody else, but I feel like they would need.
They could direct it or have someone else.
Yeah, I don't care about
co-direct
bringing
it.
back the original cast. Like a lot, like Andrew Reynolds and Josh Gad are like much older than the characters that they played on.
Are they? But I mean,
they're meant to
does the
be
characters
teenagers
age
going
really?
on their Mormon mission.
Oh, that's right. True. Yeah.
So it would
Yeah.
be very old to see two
True,
40-year-old men play those
Yeah.
roles.
Good point. Yeah.
But also, maybe if it's absurdist enough,
Maybe
it
that's
would fit.
part of the joke. Yeah.
You know the other funny thing about the musical? Brian Tyree Henry is in the original cast. You know, from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Dylan, what's your number one?
My number one I came to is from, now you would know this as a very cultured
It's
guy.
culture.
Hades Town.
Hades Town is my number one. I underestimated you. I apologize. I didn't know your game.
Yeah, I think that is the correct response you should get. Look, I read this and went, oh, it's all the drama from the video game Hades, but without the roguelike element. I'm down for that with some songs. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Not
Tell
quite.
me I'm wrong.
Not quite. Zagreus is not the main character. It is the story of Orpheus, who infamously, after his love Eurydice died, tried to recover her from Hades, like recover her from hell, and that story, but retold in kind of this folk kind of world, I guess, and where hell is like a giant corporate factory town.
So they call it, based on my reading in the Wikipedia, they call it Hades Town. Like that's what it's called.
Yeah. Really fantastic score, songs, the cast on Broadway. Obviously, it's a big hit on Broadway. It's got a massive devoted fan base. Even just the story, even the story. Yeah, I believe it's been playing here recently. Yeah. But the story of even how this musical came along was Anais Mitchell wrote a concept album like ages ago, and then it slowly transformed into this musical over the course of like, I want to say 10 years or something, like to the extent like Bon Iver is on the original like concept album and that kind of stuff. So yeah, Hades Town, I think it's got a really cool look.
Concept album was 2010. So
yeah. And then I want to say the musical came out. It came out
2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was probably maybe off Broadway, but
that was,
I know its initial Broadway run was cut by
Broadway is 2019. So
yeah, and then it got cut off by COVID for a while, and then came back to big. So
off Broadway was 2016, but yeah, Broadway 2019.
Really interesting story. So, yeah, I think that would be really cool.
I didn't say this before. February 10th it opened in Sydney, and then finished in April.
Yeah, so I could see that being a big hit. I'm very surprised. I figured one of us would say Hamilton, but just because they're maybe a bit too mainstream, or maybe too soon.
Some would say I'm too cultured to.
Yeah, you're picking all these obscure things.
Yeah, just.
All right, Dylan. This week, what do you want to watch?
Well, my cultured ass would like to watch the Wicked for Good, which based on the famous
musical.
Yeah.
Adapted
and we know part 2 is so much darker than the first, so I'm really hoping I really hope they do justice on it. TV show front. Oh, I forgot to look actually. Fucking nothing. Oh, actually, if I was picking something from TV, I'd go the death of Bunny Monroe. which is coming to binge. Stars Matt Smith, based on the novel by Nick Cave.
Okay. I'm also looking forward to checking out Wicked for Good. I will say, also coming to the cinemas this week is the Sisu sequel,
Road to Revenge. Yeah.
Road to Revenge.
Getting good
We
reviews.
still haven't seen Sisu, but maybe
No.
double feature this week. And then on the TV front, A Man on the Inside, Season 2, starring Ted Danson. On Thursday, I want to say. On Netflix, looking forward to binge watching that. Let us know what you want to watch this week by letting us know on social media, by finding us at explosionnetwork.com/follow. If you want to help us out here at What Do You Want to Watch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars, and you couldn't leave 5 stars or just tell people about the show. And if you want to help us out here at Explosion Network with all our content and other podcasts, head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, hold to yourself. Keep watching stuff, I guess.